Hello everyone, welcome to yet another Cave Divers React, even though this is not a cave dive. This is an interesting dive at sea. No one recommended this one. I was actually surprised that YouTube suggested this dive to me. This is a dive out at sea. These guys are diving in Socorro. Have you been there, Woody?
No, but it's epic, I heard.
Oh, yeah? I haven't been there either. So these guys are diving. Based on the gear that I see, they look like new-ish open water divers.
Okay.
I really, again, I this was suggested to me. I started watching the video. I didn't see the whole thing, so hopefully the ending is not super bad. I know you're showing the keyboard, which means you have the ability to stop it whenever you want, which people seem to embrace that. I keep telling people we're on beta version. We're testing.
And that's true. I think, in all seriousness, it is nice to have a little control, but their comments are valid because I don't have to say stop and it interrupts the video or accidentally talk over you or the video. Those have been great comments, guys, and we're trying to implement your feedback, and we're learning to improve as well, so thank you.
That's right. So anyway, so these guys are out at sea, and apparently they get into some trouble. And we're going to talk about to people that are divers and also non-divers, because a lot of people that watch our channel are non-divers and then they get encouraged to learn how to dive. If you ever get caught up in a situation that is similar to what these guys, witnessed or went through, maybe we can help them out.
And maybe we can dive here.
Yeah, and maybe we can dive here as well. By the way, before we start this video, thank you so much to everyone who subscribes to the channel. I keep looking at the analytics of the channel. A lot of you guys watching have not subscribed. Maybe you're still not convinced that we deserve hitting that subscribe button. Hopefully after watching this video you're convinced, but please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. We continue to grow the channel, and we have a lot more fun stuff coming, so stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and start watching this video, and then we'll chime in here and there to add our thoughts. One more thing?
Is any of the fun stuff hydrogen, blowing up a jet ski, or diving for gold?
Hopefully not.
I'm just trying to get those moving forward.
All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
All right, they're diving out of a dinghy, so they're probably on a liveaboard, I assume. Let's lower the volume a little bit. I need to hear sounds of the ocean. Okay.
Can I stop it? Well, I did stop it. I don't have to ask. I have not watched this video, but I wanted to stop it right here. Look at the two divers, and I could be wrong, but look what's in between them. Is that a stream of bubbles in between them?
That's right.
It looks like to me we have a ripping current underwater that appears to be going. It's kind of strange. I'm thinking that the bubbles are going from the guy on the right, angled slightly down to the guy on the left. That's what it looks like. It looks like there's more bubbles. It's tough to tell, but that was a quick observation. So I don't know if that's part of what's about to happen, but observation there.
Also, what is this guy doing right here? Is he diving with a knife? Like, is he swinging a machete around? Like, what is going on? I'm trying to understand what's happening. Moving all limbs at all times. Look at this.
Whoa, dude, this is wild. It's not just, forget about buoyancy and trim and whether he's using his hands.
Right.
You're talking about, are you seeing what's going on there?
Yes.
There's a circle of bubbles, and it's starting to spin that diver around.
Yep.
Wow, that is wild.
Yep. So this is called a underwater vortex. That's what this is called. So it's basically, if you've seen, and I'm trying to get better at this, but if you've seen divers, when they blow bubble rings underwater. Nature can also do this at a massive scale and with way more force, and they can suspend it in the middle of the water. So instead of it going up as a bubble, it would kind of stay suspended at a depth, so like 50 feet or whatever, and it will just rotate and rotate underwater, and it can trap divers like these guys.
Yeah, there's downdrafts. I have had some dives where there were pretty significant downdrafts, particularly in Palau. That's known as advanced diving. In Palau, you have to reef hook in. Southeast Asia can have that happen.
Wow.
And they taught us what to do if it happens. But let's continue to roll,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about it.
No fin movement, just hand movement. These guys are all
Okay,
caught
his
into
bubbles, I'm pausing a lot. His bubbles are going straight down. The guy on the top left, those bubbles went down.
Yep.
So there's a downdraft going on here.
And that's why it's interesting when people say, if you can't see your computer, if your computer gets broken, you can just follow your bubbles. Well, your bubbles don't always go up.
Great point.
This guy's just spinning and spinning. Look at that. When he stops kicking, immediately he just starts spinning. Look. Woo. Woo. And swinging that machete. I don't know what he has in his hand, but...
So, okay. If you're caught in something like this, and I'm talking to you, I presume you never have been.
No.
What would you do? Just look at that and tell me what you would do. I'm curious to hear what you're going to say here.
I mean, for me, I guess it all depends on the power of what that's doing. It doesn't seem very powerful because the guy that's filming is like 10 feet away from this dude, and he doesn't seem to be affected by it. And it also doesn't seem like it's taking them down deeper or anything like that. It's keeping them at depth. So if I'm in a rebreather, I'm not concerned really about depth or time or whatever. This is not doing anything. So I'm probably just curious about what's happening. I would just be in this thing like, what is happening? Like I'm curious and not too much scared. But it feels like it's not powerful enough that if you kick hard a few times out of it, you could get out of it. I would probably signal my body for help, which I don't see anybody here doing. I also don't see anybody trying to help, maybe because they're scared they're going to get in there themselves into the vortex. But I would just try to kick my way out of it. Just a few frog kicks and get out of it.
Well, that's exactly right. You don't want to stay in it. And even though this one doesn't seem particularly powerful, what I was taught, if we get in these when I was diving in Palau, is that ultimately it can cause disorientation. And if you start spinning like that and you stay in it and you don't kick out of it, the second thing that's happening at the same time without you knowing is you're also going down. So the spinning part is not holding you, but the down can be strong, and you don't have a point of reference because you're spinning. You're probably not looking at your computer. Then that's when the problem can get serious. So to your point, not a big deal if it's a couple of spins, right? But you do want to kick out of it and try to get yourself oriented so you're not spinning, so you can look at your dive computer, because you may have just dropped 10, 20, 30 feet. And as you know, Gus, in a dive profile, if we had planned a 100-foot dive and now all of a sudden we're at 130 quickly, that can change things dramatically.
That can be a problem,
So
especially in open circuit, for sure.
Okay.
Could it help if you just inflate? Like if you're sideways, if it's a ring and it's not going up or down, could you just hammer the inflator and as soon as you get out of it, dump? But you're like, I don't know, 10 feet above it or whatever.
So, again, I haven't had a lot of experience with this. I'm just remembering what they briefed us in Palau, because you get into these downdrafts is don't automatically go for the hammering. That's your reaction.
Yeah.
Let me hammer, man. That's going to bring me up, because are you in fact going down, or are you just spinning and it's not really bringing you down? Because then that could rocket you up and for sure cause an issue.
Right.
The biggest thing they stressed was you got to get your vertigo, your dizziness out under control to figure out what's happening, and then focus on your dive computer, because you're going to be completely disoriented from the bubbles and the spinning, and then make, as you said, a calm, rational decision.
Right.
And it's not going to be typically too hard to kick up at that point.
Last thing though, before we go, because I know some people are thinking about this, is what happens if you get super dizzy and you throw up? Because I've seen several comments of people saying, you know, especially when we're talking about Don Shirley and he was throwing up during deco and whatever. How do you even throw up underwater? What if you have to cough? What if you have to spit? Like, a lot of people are concerned about this. Regulators actually can handle all of that. If you have to throw up, you can throw up through your regulator. If you have to cough, you can cough, spit, whatever, through your regulators. Modern regulators can handle all that stuff. So we get that question a lot in the comments. Now you know.
Excellent.
Wow. I mean, this guy must be scared. Look how big that is. Just the whole ring just stretched, spinning. And he's kicking and not getting out, so it's not super weak. These people right here watching like World Star, just filming like and not helping.
Well, look, he is kicking and he's not getting out, but he's not really kicking in an efficient way that would help him get out, because you're disoriented. That's what we were talking about. You really have no idea what's going on. You're just spinning and spinning. If you're a new diver, just think about that. You and I always talk about, try to get out of our heads and put yourself into a person that's done, 20 dives, and that starts happening. They're just going to start randomly kicking and moving their arms. That may just put them in a further spin. It's very easy to sit back and be critical, right? And watch a video and say, this is what I would do. I don't know if I would be able to handle it any better, but what you should do is calm down and try your absolute best to do really hard thrust kicks in a direction. Just any direction. Just kick as hard as you can and just blast out of that, and it will subside. It's kind of like a rip current. You don't think you can get out of it, but they really aren't that wide. Just kick along the shore, and then all of a sudden it lets go. So easy to say. I know, easy to be critical.
Yeah.
All right.
It's massive.
This isn't cruel, but it's kind of funny. Do you see the fish all along the outside of it?
Yeah.
They're probably saying, why are they in that? I'm out here. I'm watching this show.
What are you doing?
Well, get out of that thing, man. We don't go anywhere near that.
Throw up so we can eat.
Look at the fish.
Oh, man.
Wow. That's so bad. He just looks helpless.
I just feel like reaching and just grabbing his fin and just pulling him out. Like,
He's
it's
just
a massive ring, dude. It's just huge.
He's just totally disoriented. You can see
Yeah.
that now. He
Yeah.
doesn't know which way he's going. I feel bad for this guy. He's getting tired.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He has no idea that he's
Swinging
spinning.
that knife around.
Kick right there. Kick. The arms are just going to wear him out.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know why he's carrying the knife?
I have no idea.
That's dangerous.
What is that about? It's like,
He's not going to cut his way out of bubbles.
no.
Would you agree the diver above seems okay? He doesn't
Yeah.
seem caught in anything. He just
He's just
doesn't
filming.
know what to do. They're not jumping in and trying to help this guy.
No. Nobody's helping. 0 people are helping. Like, where's the DM? Where's the dive guy? Where's the... nobody. The body. Like, nobody. If he dies, he dies.
Wow, he's been in that thing a long time.
Yeah.
Somebody just reach in.
Yeah. I think, is that him? Yeah, I think that's him swinging the knife. So I think he's out. Finally. Oh my god. Maybe that's why nobody wanted to help him, because he's swinging a knife around like a crazy
And
person.
he's a new diver. I mean, he's bicycle kicking.
Yeah.
He's probably really tired. Reach
Yeah.
up. There we
Here
go.
Somebody finally. Okay. He's alive. Get him out of there.
Now you can reorientate. Hopefully, you can see his computer. He's gasping for air. He's really blowing a lot of bubbles there.
Yeah. Trying to catch his breath. He needs to stop moving. Like, adjust your buoyancy and just stop moving. And just relax.
There we go.
Float in the water.
They're helping him. There we go. Whew. Don't let go of him.
All right. Directed by Michael Hartman.
I wouldn't let go of him. I mean, if this happens to me,
Yeah.
I'm telling you this. If this ever happens to me and I'm disoriented, you hold me all the way through any stops we got to do and to the surface. Because this person is exhausted, unlikely that they're concentrating on their computer. They probably are in a panic mode. So if I'm not hurting you, don't let go of me.
Yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting one. That's the end of another interesting video out at sea. I've never seen in person one of these vortexes, but man, once you get caught up in it, it can rock your world, apparently.
It's pretty wild. Palau is incredible diving, but you'll be reef hooked in. Okay, imagine, because you cannot deal with the current. You can't.
It's ridiculous.
And you have a hook. Sounds bad, but you're kind of putting it on sort of the part of the under part of the rock that isn't going to hurt the reef, and then you just give your BCD a little bit air, and you just sort of fly up and back.
Do you hook it into like a D-ring?
Yes, it's
Oh,
hooked into a
nice.
D-ring, and then you float back, and you just sit there, and
Nice.
you watch the show, because the marine life loves the strong current. I
Yeah.
mean, literally hundreds of sharks. But then all of the sudden, you'll blow your bubbles, and all of a sudden you start seeing them go down, and you start going from being floating up to kind of being pushed down.
Wow.
Right? So you got to move out of the way, or it's gonna
They're
these
gonna smash.
downdrafts kind of come in out of nowhere, and that's why they say it's really advanced diving in Palau.
Those currents are tough.
I mean, they're ripping.
And we got tossed around like ragdolls at JB last week. Jackson Blue.
Jackson Blue is a cave. Man, it's humbling, isn't it?
We make a wrong move and just
Yeah.
spits you out.
Look when you watch really
love
good
it.
cave divers, and I'm always going to speak for myself. This is not one of them.
No,
I'm not a good cave diver.
we're just cave
I'm
divers. Yeah.
training. I still call me learning. But when you watch them handle their buoyancy and trim and real work and multitasking in ripping current, like Ed Sorensen, for example, does, and
Yeah.
then you're like, I can do that. You just watch them do it in front
How
of you.
hard can it be?
Looks easy, and then you're like, I'm up.
Yeah. I remember when we
And
did it.
we don't look good.
I remember when we did it. I was doing the line work, and so in cave diving, you dive in a team, and it's at least two. You never cave dive alone. People say it's the sixth rule of cave diving. It's not like it's like an unwritten rule. Unlike the Donald Cerrone unwritten rule, this rule actually is valuable. The sixth rule of cave diving is never cave dive alone. So there's at least two people in a team, but typically you want three. Three is like an ideal cave diving team. But everyone in a team has like responsibilities. The first guy in a team, as you go in, is the line guy, or the line woman, or the line person, whatever. And the second person in the team is supporting the line person. So that person will, for example, illuminate, use the flashlight, so the person doing the line work can use both hands to tie the line, right? So we were at Jackson Blue. 190 million gallons of water are coming out of this thing every day. So it's ridiculous flow. It's a river, like a massive river coming out. And I'm tying a line, and I have the light, and Woody is the light guy, person number two.
Trying.
And he's trying, so he's on a DPV trying to hover on the DPV like in the current, and with one hand on the DPV and the other hand on the light, like hovering over me, and there I am with a DPV like in my arm, like trying to tie the line, and all of a sudden the light gets faint, and I'm in the dark. Trying to tie the line.
Because guess where Woody is? I'm like,
gone.
I'm not. It's not on purpose. It's just.
Of course not.
Of course, I knew I could need Woody.
Yeah, there's just the
Try
wrong
to-
move.
try
Like
to control yourself, but
your wrist goes like that. The DPV gets caught in the current. Bye. See ya.
exactly like because if you're a little bit over to the right, you kind of dodged the current from
Yeah.
the rock itself of the cave. But then if you slide over a little bit to the left, when that happened, because I remember that, Gus,
It's a blast.
I was like.
Gone
Phew,
immediately.
My light must have been gone. I'm like, where's my
cannot-
light? I'll tell you where your light was, on the surface, because that's where I got blown to. I mean, it's hard. It's
Cannot
humbling.
make a mistake. It's awesome.
It's really tough. It's really
Anyway,
humbling.
thank you so much for tuning in to yet another Cave Diver React video. Like I said before, please make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching our videos and for leaving, all of our comments. I love to see the people are like, I never comment on videos, but I watched this one. I really enjoy it. I'm leaving my first comment ever. And also for the people leaving comments about, I never thought I wanted to scuba dive, but watching these videos, you guys encouraged me to do that. Many, many requests for people talking about what to expect on the open water class. So we should probably do a video about that.
Absolutely.
Helping people out. So thank you so much, guys, for doing that. Any final words?
We're working on the volume. We're working on getting the camera that is on me focused better. In case
better
it's
every
not,
day.
I just want to save the comments. I know you bought a device that I don't understand that's continuing to
More gear.
improve the technology. Bear with us. We're new. We do read every single comment and
Yes.
don't ignore them. So we're getting there, everybody.
Absolutely.
But thank you very much. I'm so overwhelmed with happiness about the fact that so many of you want to watch us. And we're going to continue with, I know we have some amazing stuff in the pipeline. And by the way, that does include, which that
What?
was me chopping the
Stabbing
line of a
yourself in the heart?
regulator,
Oh,
blow up tanks and regulator,
No.
jet ski, go boom.
all right.
Jet ski-
Regulator. No,
jet ski,
not
go
the
boom.
jet ski for sure.
Jet
Not-
ski, go
not to that,
boom
but
will be the title of the video.
we will do the regulators for sure. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in the next one.